on FSI, we're talking Texans versus the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans are on the road in this matchup. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analytics expert, Stephen Fu.
Thanks for joining us on the season debut. Kansas City's minus 10 on the spread, minus 475 on the money line, and Houston's plus 380.
Kansas City Chiefs are minus 10 in this matchup, and I think the odds makers got it right. The Texans lost to Nard Hopkins, and they did nothing to upgrade that defense. I wouldn't be surprised to see this spread go up by game time.
It's going to be the same spread from the playoff matchup. Houston started off with a 21-point lead and still didn't cover that game. The money line is going to be a long shot, but the odds will give you just under a 4-1 payout.
Quarterback Patrick Mahomes has transcended into the best quarterback in the league. Last year, he only threw 7 interceptions. He had 26 touchdowns, and he's able to run the ball, buy time in the pocket, and is very accurate. He literally has no weaknesses.
Deshaun Watson had great awareness inside the pocket. He's tough to take down and among the fastest players in the league. His only weakness was way too many turnovers. He finished the season with 12 interceptions. That number could change, however, depending on how he adjusts with his new receivers.
Kansas City's offensive line struggled in 2019. Left tackle Eric Fisher, right tackle Andrew Wiley, and others all missed time. Because of this, they allowed a lot of pressure. But lucky for them, Mahomes was able to buy time with his legs. A bright spot for that offensive line is Mitchell Schwartz. He became one of the best offensive linemen in the league. Now on the other side of the ball, they're playing the Houston Texans, and they're not very good. They rank 27th in sacks and average under 2 a game. J.J. Watt has regressed and is no longer a prime-time player for them. They were, however, able to add in the second round Ross Blacklock out of TCU. I don't think that's going to matter too much because at full strength, I expect Kansas City's offensive line to dominate this battle.
The Texans' offensive line was not good last year. They gave up 49 sacks, which ranked them 22nd in the league. The only reason Watson found success was because of his mobility inside the pocket. They will be rolling out the exact same lineup, so I don't see any room for improvement here. Kansas City's defensive line is nothing special. They weren't too bad, but weren't great either. I think it's going to be an even matchup in this area. Chris Jones will be the only real threat against the Texans' offensive line.
The Chiefs wide receiver core, is one of the fastest and deepest in the league. It features Tyreek Hill, Nicole Harmon, Demarcus Robinson, Travis Kelce, and Damian Williams. They are a matchup nightmare for any team. The Houston Texans secondary is one of the worst in the league. They gave up 6,200 yards passing last season, and the only good player they have is Bradley Roby. Outside of a miracle, I expect the wide receivers of the Chiefs to dominate this matchup.
Houston picked up Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb during the offseason. While both receivers are good, it's going to be tough replacing a talent like DeAndre Hopkins. He was one of the best receivers in the league, and some might even say he's the best. The Chiefs have great depth at their DB position. Their top 3 performers were Tyrann Mathieu, Charvarius Ward, and Bashaud Breeland. These guys match up pretty well against the receivers of Houston.
The Chiefs' biggest weakness is their run game and their inability to close out the game. You saw this when they played the Tennessee Titans in the first matchup. They actually lost. What they did is they picked up Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU. His strength is vision and lateral movement. The Texans' defensive line is one of the worst in the league. They gave up 1,900 yards on the ground. I feel like Kansas City should be able to run the ball whenever they feel like it.
David Johnson will be a huge downgrade from Carlos Hyde. I think they will find more success starting Duke Johnson instead. He was very efficient out the backfield, averaging 4.9 yards per carry. Kansas City is extremely deficient in the run defense, ranking 29th overall last year. They allowed 4.9 per carry, so this could be an area of success for that Houston offense.
The Kansas City Chiefs should dominate on offense. The Texans don't have enough weapons, and they have a horrible defense. What I would do in this situation is buy a half point, take it down to 9.5, and then I would also add Kansas City money line to all my parlays.
It's going to be tough keeping up with that KC offense. They have so much firepower. I just don't know if Houston can match that output. Texans are also very weak on the defensive side, so the outlook for Houston seems pretty grim.
That's it for us. Do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. Tell us who you're going to be taking in the comments below.
We don't care about favorite teams here. Our focus is on making you money. Follow our social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. The links are below.